Back towards the Brewmaster lineup. I mean, if you want to push against the lineup with Brewmaster, you need to know that you're stronger as well. You can't just have the damage towards the tower. That's not enough. So I like the combination from Sand King and Skywrath. You can burst one hero really fast. And again, the Shadow Demon support looks beautiful if you want to run a core position Alchemist. But then they already picked up the Weaver as well. So we'll see how NEWBEE want to throw their lanes, to be honest.
I think that right now NEWBEE really has the upper hand because they can do whatever. They can just, you know, go for full team fight if they're gonna clash with VICI. VICI decides to push tower, that's for sure. They have a great team fighting potential. Getting the Weaver versus the Skywrath isn't necessarily good, but it's, you know, one of those games where they got the Doom versus something that's actually very, very scared by the Doom, and then you get whatever you want because you know that, I mean, Skywrath has to silence the Brewmaster, right? So Weaver's going to be able to do whatever. So that's a really good Weaver game, actually. It could be a really good whatever, you know. It's a really good approach to how, when they get one single counter like this, you can get whatever and get away with it.
That's true. And also Viper and Furion don't really do that much against the Weaver. No, so split pushing is pretty easy as long as the Sand King is somewhere on the map. If you don't see him and you don't see Skywrath, of course, Weaver is going to play safe. But with us already calling that VICI is probably going to go 5-man a lot, Weaver will have a lot of time to just split push.
And the Earthshaker is the last pick.
So that's actually, that might be an Alchemist carry, right?
It should be.
A and Earthshaker are also a really good combination for roaming, and also creates this kind of threat that, okay, you can jump on the Brewmaster, you can jump on our Weaver, but as long as we have the Earthshaker behind us, we have control of the team fight. And I think the Venomancer ban from NEWBEE is really smart because VICI Gaming, if there's something they have, it's this constant threat of the Sand King jumping on you, the Skywrath Mage catching you, the Viper just being in the front line. And if they had gotten a Venomancer, they could have just slow siege all the towers just by popping wards. And it's a really clever ban from NEWBEE. But VICI Gaming, they're going all in and they're going with the Morphling.
I really don't like the Shaker pick so much. And it's a Xiao 8 Shaker, so that's going to be really interesting, so never mind it. What I mean, they're going to have really weak solos. Maybe not the Brewmaster, but if they wanted...
Oh, wow. It is
like Xiao 8 or Shaker.
Xiao 8 Shaker.
That's really surprising. So it's an Alchemist support and an AA support. They're going to be looking to roam quite a lot. They have to help that Shaker somehow because he's not going to get anything.
LGD ran this a lot with Yao and the offlane Earthshaker. It actually turned out surprisingly well.
Yeah, well, NEWBEE look like they're going into game 2 with a plan. We'll see how it works out for them. They're going to want to win this one. The record that they have against each other so far on the main event is actually 2 games apiece. But of course, in the grand finals, VICI are 1 game up. Can NEWBEE bring it back all tied? Well, we'll find out. Players have picked their heroes and they'll be loading in. So let's get to our commentators for match number 2.
Thank you very much, everybody. We're back here, game number 2. It is getting underway. I'm Toby1, joined by Luminous, and again, we go through the entire best of 5 grand final. And so far, man, it's been a very impressive display from VG Gaming. But we're into game number 2. It's a whole new kettle of fish, and it looks like we're looking at a different style of draft. We're looking at a lot more drawn-out team fights in this game, where it's not just melting down towers and pushing for victory.
It looks like Xiao 8 and the rest of NEWBEE just pulled a fast one on everybody. It's going to be a swap back, Xiao 8 on the Alchemist. It's going to be boots first. Here we go, the lines are being drawn.
They know what they want. These lineups from both VG as well as NEWBEE, they're designed to kill. That's what these lineups are meant to do. VG Gaming do it through a high level of control. That's where the Skywrath Major really comes in with his silence, and that's the reason why they also picked up that Sand King. Fenrir's going to be looking for those double to triple stuns on the Burrow Strikes, and really making big problems for NEWBEE, and especially having that epicenter down. Heroes like Earthshaker who have to run into the middle of the fight, get their stuff off, and then get back out again. Having that slow as well as a high amount of damage, it may just force out a premature Echo or premature Fissure when you're not really wanting to do it. And heroes like Ancient Apparition, if they get caught in the front lines, which they will when the Blink Dagger comes up for an SK, you're going to find the Ancient Apparition just exploding. So there's only, what, 1 Ice Blast, Cold Feet, and Chilling Touch, and he's basically spent for the fight.
Yeah, my concern isn't the mid-game for NEWBEE. I think it's much so for the early game of NEWBEE. Last time we saw the offensive trialing fail, NEWBEE really never actually played Dota. I mean, they're physically in the game, they're hitting buttons and everything, but it wasn't their executed game plan. So I want to see NEWBEE doing what their lineup is designed to do. Early game roam into essentially mid-game push. And let's see if NEWBEE is able to accomplish that against VICI Gaming, who is up 1 game and feeling pretty good about themselves.
Well, you're going to find out soon, man. First rune got picked up, so it's going to be Xiao 8, who gets to have his Invis rune. So he'll be doing some scouting, to see what he can achieve on this offlane. And Super, well, he'd be the safe lane Viper in this game. FY, the roaming man, he's looking for the first rune, and they're going to find absolutely nothing. And there's no Observer Ward for that position either. But FY, he's bringing a sentry ward in, and yeah, the ping's coming out to basically block up the Ancient stack. So this won't be an option for Zhao Wei to just use Acid Spray and farm it up. But at the same time, that ward was watched, so they know it's been placed. So it won't be too difficult to de-ward it out, even though they are running around with a lot of melee heroes and not the range heroes.
Yeah, they probably just wait it out. It's only a 3-minute duration, and you can stack a little bit later if you want. But meanwhile, it's going to be Radiant that's going to be stacking. We actually see a Titan doing a lot of this. The early game roaming of the Sand King as well as the Skywrath Mage. You stack a little bit, and then you go for a smoke gank. Wasn't that successful for Titan, but let's see how VICI Gaming is going to take their spin. Maybe they're actually going to go for less roaming and more laning instead.
Well, considering Fenrir doesn't have a smoke on him, we can go on that top. Wait, he's not responding. He's not responding. The ward, he had perfect vision. He's going to try and TP out, but there's not enough time. First blood goes the way of NEWBEE.
The big punch of Shanshan will grab the first blood, and first blood on supports. That's key, man. You pick up the support, that's going to be a big deal for Earthshaker to keep on landing those fissures. Now, his fissure and his rotation to the mid lane won't be as helpful, because Silent could always waveform across, but I think he's going to be continuously an issue for ROTK on the top lane.
I'm really surprised ROTK didn't respond. There's this Observer Ward. They're sitting up on top of the cliff watching across the top rune area, and this is like, why he should have seen it coming. It's like he'll be watching the Earthshaker move in behind him right now. So ROTK again is going to get pincered up, and now he will back himself up.
Yeah, this time I think he saw it, although, yeah, he's running back.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say that RTK and Xiaowei, they're a similar breed of captain such that they may not be the best mechanic player themselves, for example, missing that gank coming his way. But RTK is getting dove upon, the bugs are coming out, they need that fissure, but the trees are blocking him, sort of.
Yeah, it's right away, but if they walk over towards the right, they're going to find Zhao Wei. Now, Observer Wards are in the river, and Zhao Wei, well, he's actually just a little bit too far away, so the smoke, it won't break just yet. And they're waiting for Zhao Wei to show himself underneath the tier 1 tower. Super will just throw the Viper Strike out the second he's too close, because they know he's not level 6. And Prophet is a TP.
Oh, did you see the TP?
They're fully committing in right now. And Zhao Wei, they've got enough damage with the Burrow Strike. He's trying to get the stun off, and it won't get off enough time. Fenrir, though, underneath that tier 2 tower, he'll go down and move, looking to actually fight off. If he doesn't have enough mana for a split, he's too low, but how? Picking up ROTK, and he got it! He just got the mana. Super's going to go down with the Opening Stone. Skywrath dies in the corner. It's a catastrophe for VICI Gaming on the bottom lane. The Brewmaster survives barely. And Sylar, he's looking for a pick-off here with the Invis rune? He's not going to find anything. This is wasted time as well for a Morphling.
Is he coming to solo kill Shanshan? He's way too tanky for that. And yeah, Sylar just essentially wasted about 45 seconds running between mid and then the bottom. But that Brewmaster made a huge mistake. He teleported and clapped and then was like, wait, I don't have any mana. And then he just slowly regen his way up. Too close for comfort, but hey man, it worked out just fine. And like I said, it's the Weaver that teleports in and starts to rotate. You can see how it's now skidding his way back up. But, you know, it's Banana that's getting a little bit of experience as a result. Last game, he did not even find level 6 15 minutes in the game. This one, he's going to find it 7 minutes in the game. That's going to be a big change of how NEWBEE decides to play this mid-game.
Yeah, this basically allows NEWBEE to be very, very aggressive. When Moo picks up the Blink Dagger as well, they got so much going their way. And Hal can be over-aggressive as well with his Shikuchi, because he's got his level 6, so Time Lapse is already available as well. So NEWBEE have so many different things to keep them alive during the team fights if the initial combination of VICI Gaming doesn't work. And VICI Gaming always knew this was going to be a problem. Maybe the reason why we might be looking at ROTK going into an Orchid. Sylar can be careful here. Fidget, clap, A ulti. He'll wait for himself away, but he's very low in life and shatters the Ancient Apparition. Very, very simple combo, but perfectly executed from NEWBEE.
Look at how effective it is. Once Ancient Apparition turns that level 6, you begin the kind of early game sniping, and that's only going to get better once Moo picks up that Blink Dagger, which is very, very close to... Oh, Fenrir, he's taking a ton of the fissure.
Sunshine doesn't have mana for it right now. He was also doing a bit of de-warding, so we just see the Sand King walk himself out. But that's a big Ancient stack as well for Zhao Wei. By the looks of it, that's actually a quad stack he's managed to achieve here. At the same time, if you're looking towards the Radiant jungle, there's also some double stacks in here. So, a lot to play with. And Sunshine, well, is he going to help out? Hello, Moo. Also running away from the Morphling Replicate. And Fenrir trying to chase him down. But look at Fenrir's gold. Like I was talking about blink daggers for initiations from VG Gaming, catching out heroes like Ancient Apparition. This SK, he needs to go to his own jungle and start to farm up because he doesn't have Arcane Boots and he's nowhere near his blink dagger.
Yeah, I think he's going to skip Arcane. That's generally the standard thing to do. He does have a couple of healthy stacks like you mentioned earlier, but he needs to clear them out. He needs to reach level 6, level 7, and more importantly, needs to find that blink because a lot of the team's initiation really comes through him. If he doesn't get an early blink, how does VICI actually take a fight? They really can't, at least not with a lot of confidence. So we'll see if Sanking is going to get it anytime soon. Looks like he's going to go for yet another stack. And imagine this is where he starts sandstorming away.
ROTK's got a lot of money up in this top lane, which he's refusing to spend. I got a funny feeling he's also worried about having to go like recovery minus catch up to, well, the rest of NEWBEE, because they are stretching themselves in front. But I'm very, very concerned if he goes down this line, that NEWBEE will be able to hit him before he's able to hit them back. Especially with the 2300 gold on the Brewmaster. Yeah, you know it's a blink dagger he's picking up from that side shot. With the AA ultimate also available, How having treads as well as Ring of Aquila and full magic wand. This tier 1 tower is actually dead in the top lane. VG Gaming can throw a Wrath of Nature, but it's not going to stop the push.
Coming in mid, that's going to be on top of FY.
Fissure.
Oh, okay.
It connects, but they need more damage. This isn't enough to kill off FY.
Yeah, he's going to have to go back home, which, harass done. Meanwhile, they're going to do a little bit of pushing up top here. And NEWBEE does have the Ring of Aquila, giving the creep wave +2 armor, slowly whittling this tower away.
It's a bit of a trade, but there's TP support coming to bottom lane. Is Moo actually with a haste and collapse in, goes straight for the split, looking at Silent. Now he's still got a replica he can jump down to. Super being stunned up by Xiao Wei as well as by the Brewmaster. While, well, Nature's Prophet, he arrived and got set up and towards the edge. Xiao Wei,
what a fissure.
That's finally go down. Viper with enough damage, and maybe he can escape up the Meg Charge. No, it won't be enough. Weaver, last attack's able to connect, and again ROTK spinning himself up and towards the air. I say himself, it actually came from Nu. Clamp Shikuchi as well. An extra little bit of damage from a hit from Sunshine, and they will take a 2-for-1 trade on that bottom lane and hold the tier 1 tower at 86 life points.
Yeah, a great amount of kills going towards NEWBEE, being able to do a lot, and unfortunately VG could just only sit on sideline and watch. Looks like we can see a concussive shot going to top, but nothing really comes of it. The key thing to point out right now is that Sanking, he's in the jungle. He's doing his do-do-do, and he's going really up to 2150 very, very soon. Once he has it, I think that's where VICI decides to start making TPs, start making some fights happening their way. But right now, they kind of just have to take it on the chin, man.
Yeah, well, they do. It's acceptable casualties at this point because you realize if you try and fight earlier on than this, you're just going to give away even more. So you just try and get the best things you can and then look for a timing attack. So Fenrir's got to be ready to go once he's got all of this up and running. And I'm wondering if NEWBEE should try and find some extra advantage at this point. Like how, okay, this is a little bit of a nuisance.
Stealing experience, stealing gold, one more hit, got it.
He got one of them. He got one of the small Hellbears. But Sand King still takes out the large portion of the money for it. And that's what he's searching for. Experience is one thing, but the money is the rest of it. Now, stop
I think he's asking for Ice Blast. Yeah, the Ice Blast is going to come. It's going to come through the tier 1 tower, and Fenrir is going to be out of there. I don't think this is going to work the way they, yeah.
Yeah, Fenrir's already back out to safety. If they walk through the tree line, then maybe they could have been caught out just then, but not going to happen. And Sunshine leaves Ignites Aggressive Observer Ward behind. But with the smoke movement coming out from NEWBEE, now to look towards the bottom lane, but Super knows. Hides in the tree lines, realize everyone from VG Gaming is currently missing, apart from that top lane Banana. And even then, they don't care about him because they know he's an Ice Blast from the opposite side of the map, which is a really big radius. Super. Wow, you're up a long way here, man. The Xiao Wei looking for the extra stun. The Viper Strike going out here from Super 2. It's a large amount of damage into Xiao Wei, but Mood comes in. ROTK looking for extra damage, but there goes Jamek. Super is not enough. He cannot bring down Xiao Wei. Will lose its own life. And it's a 4-man gang squad coming out there from NEWBEE.
Yep. Meanwhile, though, it looks like VG Gaming is going to reply by pushing a little bit of tier 1. Don't think they will bring it down, though. Hal comes in. He's got to be careful of that Burrow Strike. Blink Dagger is picked up. They could actually straight up kill him with FY's burst damage and silence. Yep. Here we go. Initiation. Ancient Steel's going to be following up, and how he is straight up. Oh, okay. Bridger was good. The clock's going to follow up. Here comes the split. They're going to get Finrar. The Sandstorm's going to keep it in place a little bit. Shine Strike's coming in. Burrow Strike. It looks like Finrar is going to be fine. He's going to be able to blink away. Meanwhile, the Silent not having as good of a luck. He has bursted down. No way for him.
Man, Sunshine came in and he was just able to get enough mana to get that stomp off. And by doing so, it was able to bring the SK back out of the Sandstorm, because Sandstorm, SK was able to keep the
Top
Invis
lane,
walk out.
teleportation coming against Banana, trying to TP out, no such luck, man. Too much damage.
Especially with ROTK throwing out the ultimate. Actually taking a bit of a risk with that ultimate as well. He threw that in the bottom lane to get it to bounce all the way up towards the top to get the bonus damage, because that means there's a lot more travel time for it. But they're trying to capitalize on this kill. Push in towards the tier 1 tower. I know we said at the very, very start of the draft that this lineup isn't really